Look what you made me do, nigga. Why you make me do that? What you made me do, nigga. Why you make me do that? Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do, nigga. Why you make me do that? What you
Hi there, everyone. How are you doing? I hope you are all well, rested, healthy, and safe because that's what matters at the end of the day. Make sure you are good. Make sure you are able, okay? And you make sure you get up every day and you let them bitches know that you like that and to stop fucking playing with you. And they keep talking about we don't have no money, but yet then New York just said they about to give out 53 million of credit to immigrants. So immigrants are going to look out for immigrants. So I don't know why y'all still, working, doing shit. So today I have a list of different topics that I want to get into. First, I would like to get into the King James version of your Bible. First of all, we all know that King James was a pedophile, a motherfucker, and a psychopath. But I don't know why people think that we supposed to look at this book like God wrote this and this is how God want us to live. And this is not how God wants us to live. If you look around today, everybody is sick. Everybody is depressed. Everybody hates themselves. They do because they want to change who they are. So they hate themselves. People don't know what to do with their life. People don't know what direction they're going in. They're just thinking they're supposed to get up every day and go to work. And this is why most people are depressed and miserable. And you're not supposed to be. You're not supposed to be getting up every day and just be angry. You're not supposed to live like that. All that stuff is you and your lower self. And that's what the government wants you to be at. Because when you're in your lower self, you'll go ahead and do whatever the fuck, you feel like you need to do to yourself. If you want to change your titties, you're going to go change your titties. If you want to change your ass, you're going to go change your ass. Because the government told you it's the image that society wants. So now you're going to try to fit into society. And that's why your soul feels the way it do. That's why you're mad. So it's a verse in this King James version that these people want us to be looking at. Oh my God, where's my mouse? And I want y'all to go over this verse. I want y'all to look at this verse. So hold on. Present. Chrome tab. Okay, that's G. All right, hopefully this is the right one. Okay, so Ephesians 12. Let me stop my camera because I'm about to be having my face glued to this. Let me see. Okay. Okay. All right, let's go back. Now, Ephesians 6:12. This is the King James Version. So let's go to it. For we are not fighting against flesh and blood enemies, but against evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world, against mighty powers in the dark world, and against evil spirits in the heavenly realm. So this is what King James Version of the Bible wants us to focus on. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the power of this world's darkness, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realm. So as I was doing my research, I had seen, I noticed that they also kept a verse out of it. They took a piece of the verse out of it. So I'm about to show y'all this other verse. right here. This is the book of Geneva, Ephesians 6, chapter 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, and against the worldly governors, the princes of darkness of the world, against spiritual wickedness, which are in high places. Let me read that again. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, and against the worldly governors, the princes of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness, which are in high places. So these are some footnotes that they also have. I saying something, so I wanted to read it. Ephesians 6:12. Secondly, he declareth that our chiefest and mightiest enemies are invisible, shadow government, that we may not think that our chiefest conflict is with men, against men which are of frail and brittle nature, against which are set spiritual subtilities, more mighty than the other by 1,000 parts. He giveth these names to the evil angels, reasons of the effect which they work. Not they are able to do the same of themselves, but because God giveth them the brittle. Okay, so I don't know what the fuck the brittle is, but that is, they took that out the Bible. Your governors are the princes of darkness in this world. This is why your government is able to tell you can go change your gender. This is why your government, set laws that you can't even use your backyard and your front yard to grow food no more. Now we have to go to grocery stores in order to get our food. Your government is poisoning your water, but what are they doing about it? They don't care. They're just poisoning it some more. We are going through the second invasion. We were invaded first. I believe that's our gold over there in those vaults, because they told our peoples to put them inside these banks. It's too heavy to carry. Put them inside these banks and we'll keep it safe. And what they do, they stole all of it and gave us paper money. So slavery is a choice. Because they did that, they also created laws and UCC powers for you to be able to pay your bills, because there's already paid. Everything you do in life is prepaid. You're working for your own money, and they are stealing from you. So they could take out $5,000 from your trust a week, and they'll pay you $160 on your check. Where's the rest of my money? Where's the rest of my money? But instead they take it and they're funding the UN to go ahead and bring over more and more immigrants. The people from Ukraine is supposed to be here. They're supposed to be coming next. The Ukrainian refugees and shit. They're supposed to be coming next. And again, they're giving immigrants in New York $53 million worth of credit cards, but yet we can't get shit. They gave us these bony ass stimulus checks. What the fuck is we supposed to do with that? People still don't, it's not working. People still need help. So this government wants us to suffer. So let's go over Kamala Harris, because I can't stand that bitch. So before I do that, MIA came out and she spoke on how Jayz helped facilitate and her son being kidnapped from her. Okay, so it brought me into mind of this child named Jonah Reef. Kamala Harris was the DA in California. She allowed this man, Brian Sullivan, to take this child out of her custody and give it to him. He's not even the father. He's not even the father at all. This little boy has been raped, tortured, and dealing with so much shit because they took him out of his mother's care and put him in the hands of pedophiles. The same shit that's going on with MIA. But this already happened. And because they make sure people don't see what's going on and they keep certain information hidden, it can keep happening. So you don't know what to do. And so you won't get up and fight. And so you won't get up and be like, hold on, who the fuck is these judges? Who the fuck is these judges taking these children out their homes and putting them in the hands of pedophiles? And this man took this child to Australia and he's being trafficked right now. And they locked the mother up. Your government, Kamala Harris, ain't she's your vice president, right? Ain't she your vice president?
Tell me what's going on, huh?
Mommy, I will stay with you today. Mommy,
Yes, baby.
will you bring me to the babysitter today?
I don't know who that is. I don't know who Mr. Brian has for the babysitter, love.
I want to go to the babysitter right now.
You mean instead of going to Mr. Brian, baby?
I want to stay with you today.
I know, honey.
I'll stay with you today. I'm staying with you.
I know, baby.
I always stay with you.
I know. Tell me what's going on, huh?
So it says Kamala Harris took this boy from his mother and gave him to a Satanist. They raped this boy and trafficked him to Australia. She is a pedophile. Her sister is a pedophile. Check Hillary Clinton's emails. This video is so heartbreaking because you hear that child like calling out for his mother, like, mommy, I want to stay with you. He cannot put into words what's going on because he was young at this time. So he cannot speak on what's really happening, but his mother sees the bruises. His mother knows what's going on. Oh my God. Sorry, y'all. Let me put my phone on silent because this is a distraction. Okay. So let me go to this video.
They're doing the incantation, and then they start torturing this young person that is, in one case, chained.
He's going to explain it. But if you've seen the video, Kamala Abedin and Hillary Clinton was torturing a 10-year-old child. They had her chained to a tree. This picture is of this child being tortured. And, you know, just listen to what he's saying because I don't even want to talk about it.
To a tree, and in the other case, to a bed. And the one with the bed had a doctor in it, and it's the one with the tree, which was a 10-year-old girl chained to a tree. Was out in a forest area. It looked like an area I'm somewhat familiar. It looked like an area I know on the East Coast somewhere in the big forest like you see in the Blair Witch Project.
That is your government, the princes of darkness of this world. So during these times, watch these niggas. Watch these niggas. Watch these niggas. Our own people are going to be the ones that lead us to death. Watch these niggas. Because it's... Yeah. Watch them.
Oprah's a fucking slave trader, guys. You shouldn't trust Oprah. Oprah is a slave trader.
She is.
Oprah is a slave trader.
She is.
It's 100% true. Oprah Winfrey is a slave trader. Why do you think she has that school in South Africa? Why does she hang out with who she hangs out with? Oprah Winfrey is a slave trader. How is she a slave trader? Does the name John of God ring a bell? There's a reason why Oprah is so powerful, and it's not pretty. What do we know about Hollywood? We know that you pretty much have to be compromised to be at a certain level in Hollywood. Who's at the top levels of Hollywood? This is not rocket science, guys. This is not rocket science. Oprah's a fucking slave trader.
Red.
Hold on.
That is worldwide. And it's fucking bad, guys. What about Dave Chappelle? I think he knows quite a bit. Why did he run away to Africa? Why was he so freaked out?
Dave Chappelle was dead, by the way. His family is from DC. They have not seen him or spoke to him in years. He's dead, okay? He's gone.
28th of last year, Dave abruptly walked away, not only from the set of the show, but from $50 million, which left his fans shocked and most everyone completely puzzled.
You know, when you're a guy that generates money, people have a vested interest in control. They were trying to get me to take psychotic medication.
Why did they throw Kanye in an insane asylum right after he called out Facebook and Google and saying that they lied to you? Why did they throw him in an insane asylum and drug him for days? Why?
And about the sunken place I can...
No mistake. This is a cult. Personally, they can try to kill me. Do you know anyone who was murdered because of this? Not personally. Not personally, but people are murdered for it. I'm not suicidal. Am I afraid of something? I should be, because bad things are coming my way. I can assure you of that.
The first time Isaac really understood what was going on in the industry was when he was confronted by his best friend known as Seth Green. This is where he admitted he was into pedophilia.
The first time it really hit me was at Seth's. Seth said, we now need to have a talk about chicken. And then he basically admitted that he's a pedophile.
The word chicken has been used as a code word in the WikiLeaks from Hillary Clinton to represent a child. In these WikiLeaks, she had stated, "With fingers crossed the old rabbit's foot out the box in the attic, I will be sacrificing a chicken in the backyard to Moloch." If you're wondering who Moloch is, he was
are low-life scum that screw little girls so the Jews can screw America. That's what's happening in this country. I just said it. That's what's going on in this country.
It is a story so clearly absurd.
The underground tunnel that helps them take the kids and transport people back and forth so they could do these rituals.
It is hard to imagine anyone would believe it. And yet, here were two women who declined to give their names, banging on the patio of a popular D.C. restaurant, claiming they were looking for the tunnels where Hillary Clinton and her campaign manager were trafficking in children.
They are putting a lot of curses and spells over the city, D.C. I feel like they are kidnapping the children that are missing. They never were missing because D.C. knows where they are.
It is all a lie.
Right.
Comet Ping Pong owner James Alefantis says the restaurant does not even have a basement.
This is a really nice, friendly place with wonderful people who make wonderful pizza.
Pizza is actually a term used by pedophiles to describe pedophilia or
Yeah.
I don't like you, nigga. And I'm more European than you for real. I'm Scottish, Irish, and Welsh. Y'all talking about I'm going crazy? How? How can I do all the wonderful shit I've done? And give back as wonderfully as I have? I touched more kids than you have. You and LeBron put together. That I promised school he was molesting them kids.
Personally, they can try to kill me. Do you know anyone who was murdered because of this? Not personally. Not personally, but people are murdered for it. I'm not suicidal. Am I afraid of something? I should be, because bad things are coming my way. I can assure you of that.
The first time Isaac really understood what was going on in the industry was when he was confronted by his best friend known as Seth Green. This is where he admitted he was into pedophilia.
The first time it really hit me was at Seth's. Seth said, we now need to have a talk about chicken. And then he basically admitted that he's a pedophile.
The word chicken has been used as a code word in the WikiLeaks from Hillary Clinton to represent a child. In these WikiLeaks, she had stated, with fingers crossed the old rabbit's foot out the box in the attic, I will be sacrificing a chicken in the backyard to Moloch. If you're wondering who Moloch is, he was a...
Are low-life scum that screw little girls. So the Jews can screw America.
I've been made this video, so it's a loop, okay? It's a loop. But we all know Isaac Cappy did not kill himself. We know he was killed. He was murdered. And they threw him off of a bridge. When he was in that room saying he not suicidal, he was being held at gunpoint. That's just what I feel. And you know, it's facts over feelings. Your feelings are not, you feel those. I feel he was held at gunpoint and was told to say this stuff because he just came out and said, oh, a rack of shit. So when he get in that room, the light is just like he being interrogated. Y'all ain't noticed that? Y'all didn't feel like it was just somebody right there telling him, you better say this shit. You better say this shit right now, nigga. Say this shit. Read the paper. Read what this shit say. Y'all don't think shit like that be going on? They be keeping these artists in studios. They lock them in studios and make them keep recording songs or writing songs. They do that shit. So then when they kill you off and bring out your clone or a person who play you, they got all this music. They got all this music already. So now we thinking we hearing new Gucci, but he been made this shit. He been made this shit. He been made all this shit. Okay? And Jay-Z, he is also a pedophile. Jay-Z and Beyonce was on Epstein's Island. So it's not far-fetched that he will help take this boy from his mother and then put stipulations on her because she stole some food. Y'all stole the whole island. Y'all stole the whole fucking island. And then y'all stealing children. So it doesn't make no sense. It's just that the government has the power to do whatever they want. They're playing God. They're taking your children from you. And at the end of the day, they want our children because they feed off of them. They're feeding them to something other than themselves. After they are finished, you know, draining their bodies, they go ahead and they grind these children up and they sell the shit to McDonald's, and that's your burger. McDonald's is the biggest consumer of human meat. This is why you don't find these children nowhere. This is why you don't find these children. This court case, you know, I've been had this shit up in my stuff. So it says the defendants, Harvey Weinstein, Sean Carter, Jeffrey Epstein, represented in this action as defendant number one, the 1953 trust, conspired together with other defendants to illegally transact a purchase agreement giving them ownership of plaintiff one, number one, while she was a minor child residing in the state of Illinois at approximately age 5 or 6 years old in the custody of her parents, plaintiff 2 and 3, with the intent of committing criminal sex acts against the plaintiff as a child and throughout the course of her entire life. Jay-Z, Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, okay, Jay-Z. Okay, so it's crazy to me. I don't subscribe to Tasha K's nothing, but I read that somebody said that Tasha K called the girl a crackhead. You sound just like Kevin Hart calling people crackheads because you don't agree with them. So now she's a crackhead. She's a crackhead, but it's all this evidence that they done put this child in the hands of the Seagram's people who are involved with Nexium and trafficking girls. But you have a nerve to call this woman a crackhead? So I didn't hear her say it. But if I heard her, I would have more to say about it. But I didn't hear it. You know, y'all know I don't like that bitch. But y'all know I didn't hear it. So I can't say too much about it. Whistleblower set to expose government's involvement in child trafficking operation. A whistleblower is set to expose the United States' massive involvement regarding a multi-billion-dollar sex trafficking scheme at the southern border. An anonymous source will testify during the House Judiciary Subcommittee hearing the Biden border crisis exploitation of unaccompanied alien children, alleging the Democratic-led administration is operating as the middleman for their child sex empire. According to Customs, the Border Protection CBP statistics, the number of unaccompanied children at the border has gone from 33,000 in the fiscal year 2020 to more than 146,000 in the fiscal year 2021 and 152,000 in the fiscal year of 2022. In 2023, Border Patrol agents have encountered more than 70,000 encounters. However, according to the New York Times, the Biden administration has lost track of at least 85,000 children. Lost track. So, I remember when during Trump administration, the media tried to put out that the Trump had the children in cages. And in reality, the truth was Obama had those children in cages. Obama administration was kidnapping these children from their parents and trying to bring them over here. So they had these children in cages. So do you remember when Trump had the children take DNA tests because they was trying to make sure they're giving back to the rightful parents? Because these people were trying to come forth and claim these children that they knew was not theirs. Because during Kamala's, when she was DA in California, she allowed children to be taken from their mothers and given to people who then put these children in child sex trafficking rings in Australia. Okay? That's what's going on out here, and they trying to keep people distracted with all this dumb shit. Tara Lee Rodes, a whistleblower who formerly worked in the Inspector General office at the Department of Health and Human Services, alleges that the U.S. is putting children in grave danger who will be sold for sex after entering the country illegally thanks to President Joe Biden's open border policies. Across the street from Common Ping Pong, they had a business called Beyond Borders. Inside of Beyond Borders, they was watching children in third world countries. They was watching these children because they was, trying to see like how, putting plans together how they can go over there and snatch up all these children. Do not forget Laura Sibley. She was working with the Clintons, and she was caught trying to steal 33 children out of Haiti. And she got off and then became head in the Amber Alert. This is why we don't hear Amber Alerts for real, but they snatching kids every 5 seconds in the U.S. And we are a third world country ourselves. So we see these celebrities going after these children, we thinking they doing something right, but they are really kidnapping these children from their parents. How can a celebrity be any good to these children when their own children are fucked up? So it's something going on. Whether intentional or not, it can be argued that the U.S. government has become the middleman in a large-scale, multi-billion-dollar child trafficking operation run by bad actors seeking to profit off the lives of children, Rhoda said. Today, children will work overnight shifts at slaughterhouses, factories, and restaurants to pay their debts to smugglers and traffickers. Today, children will be sold for sex. According to her prepared testimony, Rhodes thought she would help place minors into forever homes, but instead she discovered children are being trafficked and sold as sex slaves right here in the U.S. After being smuggled to the border and then delivered to a sponsor, usually criminals, traffickers, and members of transnational criminal organizations. Some sponsors view children as commodities and assets to be used for earnings income. This is why we are witnessing the explosion of labor trafficking, she continued. We can no longer turn a blind eye and pretend this isn't happening. Congress has the power to stop this, which is why I am calling on you to do what is right. Another whistleblower testimony alleges that the Biden administration has repeatedly been told of the issue but chooses to ignore them. Of course. Children are carelessly funneled through the custody of the U.S. government, agencies, and contractors and handed off to a very lightly vetted sponsors who are usually also here illegally in our communities without regards to their safety and well-being. Jessica Vaughn, director of the policy studies at the Center for Immigration Studies, said. She said she had warned the HHS several times of the ongoing dangerous situation. However, she was demoted and sued. Vaughn later settled her case and resigned from her position. I guess people forget about, the Clintons, Laura Sibley, Haiti, Amber Alert, and human trafficking. People are wondering why they're not getting Amber Alerts for children who live in their area, but they'll get Amber Alerts for kids who live hours away from the DC area. But you don't get no Amber Alerts for people in DC. So, this article says the Clintons, Laura Sibley, Haiti, Amber Alert, and human trafficking. It was published September 19, 2019. There is no doubt that Bill and Hillary Clinton are the center of major human trafficking ring, including sex trafficking. But how many remember a woman by the name of Laura Sibley? Sibley, now known as Laura Sibley Gaylor, was jailed for the kidnapping of 33 children in Haiti and eventually wound up working for the company that put out Amber Alerts. So people wonder why they don't get Amber Alerts. She went from kidnapping children in Haiti to working for the company who was in charge of putting out Amber Alerts, which was said to be notifications to warn of children who were missing or kidnapped. However, she was provided assistance by none other than Bill and Hillary Clinton. For some background on Sibley Gaylor, William Chadrick at Disobedient Media documents not only what Sibley Gaylor did, but how the Clintons were involved and how the media was used to cover it up. Contrary to reports in the media, the crowdsourced investigation labeled by some as Pizzagate did not begin with the internet sleuths digging through the WikiLeaks Podesta files, released looking for pizza parlors and encoded language discussing human trafficking. It began with the shocking discovery that Hillary and Bill Clinton provided assistance to convicted child trafficker Laura Sibley, resulting in a reduced sentence for child trafficking. Sibley was arrested at the Haitian border attempting to smuggle 33 children out of Haiti without documentation. Her sentence charges were reduced after an intervention by Bill Clinton. In the aftermath of Sibley's arrest, her originally retained lawyer, George Polio, was arrested in connection with the international smuggling ring accused of trafficking women and minors from Central America and Haiti. The revelations of this news in November was either ignored by the Western media or attacked by Clinton-controlled publications. Hillary Clinton intervened politically on behalf of Laura Sibley. Laura Sibley is the former director of the New Life Children's Refuge. Emails from her organization can be found on WikiLeaks' Hillary Clinton email archive discussing the NGO before her arrest. Sibley's organization also appears in Clinton's email soliciting donations for her ministry. The refuge was founded by Sibley and Carissa Coulter, both attendees of the Central Valley Baptist Church in Moraine, Idaho. Sibley was reported to have a history of bad debts and unpaid wages. Laura had claimed she planned to build an orphanage in the Dominican Republic, but a State Department diplomatic cable revealed that authorities in the country said she never submitted an application for this purpose. They instead located to Haiti. So let's go into these WikiLeaks. Of course, they shut that email down. On January 29, 2010, Sibley was arrested with 9 other American nationals attempting to steal 33 children from the country, most of whom were not even orphans and had families, according to some reports. CNN reported on February 9, 2010, that this was not the first time Sibley had attempted to traffic children out of Haiti. Haitian police, acting on a tip, had intercepted Sibley in an earlier separate attempt to remove 40 children out of the country. She was turned back at the Haitian borders for a brief period. Haitian authorities were considered adding a new kidnapping charge based on this evidence. Hillary and Bill Clinton took an extraordinary interest in Sibley's case from the moment she was arrested and almost immediately stepped in on her behalf. The Harvard Human Rights Journal stated that one of Bill Clinton's first acts as special envoy for the United Nations in Haiti was to put out the fire of a child abduction scandal involving American citizens. On February 7, 2010, the Sunday Times reported that Bill Clinton had intervened to strike a deal with the Haitian government, securing the release of all co-conspirators except for Sibley. Prosecutors ultimately saw a 6-month sentence in Sibley's case, reducing charges for conspiracy and child abduction to mere arranging irregular travel. A shocking light penalty given the circumstances of her arrest, which would likely not have been possible but for the intervention of the Clintons in Sibley case. On February 9, 2010, Hillary Clinton consulted with counselor Cheryl Mills and other attorneys in an email discussing the U.S. government's options regarding the arrested Americans. The heavily redacted memo attached to that email does not reveal consisted of. However, the State Department's American Citizen Service is only authorized to offer lists of local English-speaking attorneys to Americans arrested or detained aboard. To go beyond that authorization is a severe violation of protocol and is illegal. Additional emails revealed that the State Department was involved with making statements on the Sibley scandal and preparing to assist Sibley's co-conspirators with their return to the United States, although this is consistent with the State Department protocol in these situations. Sibley's lawyer and his wife were both arrested for involvement in human sex trafficking of minors and women. On February 11th, the New York Times reported that Sibley's original lawyer, George Poleo, was suspected of leading an international human trafficking ring involving women and minors. According to the Harvard Human Rights Journal, Poleo was ultimately arrested in the investigation being led by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, and Homeland Security investigation. In connection with the ring, he was wanted in the United States, El Salvador, and Costa Rica for his involvement with network trafficking Central Americans and Haitians. At the time of his arrest, his wife was already in prison in El Salvador and faced charges of presumed sexual exploitation of minors and women. Poleo was ultimately sentenced to 3 years in federal prison for alien smuggling. Another surprisingly light sentence given the original charges he was sought for. It is not known at this time whether or not Laura Sibley was associated with Palelo's criminal enterprise.
She was.
The Daily Beast engaged in an illicit cover-up operation of the above information. On November 3rd, 2016, the author made a post to Reddit containing preliminary research and information on the above story. The post was made to the pro-Trump subreddit The Donald, due to the forum's reputation as the only outlet on Reddit where news was not being censored during the U.S. presidential elections. The same day, WikiLeaks tweeted a link to the Reddit post labeling it as a significant, if partisan, find. On November 4th, 2026, the Daily Beast wrote a non-factual and internationally misleading article covering the Clinton-Sibley scandal. They accused WikiLeaks of publicizing a Reddit conspiracy theory, which was riddled with incorrect information. The author, Ben Collins, neglected to do basic research on the totality of the links presented in the post as evidence. Mr. Collins attacked the policies of the Donald towards freedom of speech and accused the form of being racist without citing extensive or definitive proof. At no point did the Daily Beast provide proof that the allegations were not true and did not disprove any of the evidence submitted. A link to an extensive study of the case by Harvard Human Rights Journal, which clearly linked Bill Clinton to the scandal, was totally ignored. They similarly failed to acknowledge or address emails published by WikiLeaks between Hillary Clinton and her legal counsel, which may potentially indicate she violated State Department's policy for treatment of the U.S. citizens arrested or detained abroad. The Daily Beast is the holding of American media. Conglomerate Interactive Corp. Chelsea Clinton, vice president of the Clinton Foundation and daughter of Hillary and Bill Clinton, sits on the Interactive Corp's board of directors. The proximity of the Clinton's family to the organization responsible for oversight and direction of the Daily Beast raises questions about the publication's journalistic independence and their commitment to factual and ethical reporting on current events and topics of public interest. Given their slanderous and incorrect reporting of the Clinton-Sibley scandal, it seems clear that they do not hold these files in high regard. Since her release from detention in Haiti, Laura Sibley has returned to Idaho. In 2015, she married and took the last name Gaylor. Sibley is currently employed by software company AlertSense as their vice president of marketing. AlertSense works with the federal government on FEMA's interrogated public alerts and warning systems, IPAWS. One of IPAW's functions is to issue Amber Alerts during kidnapping events. Update. It appears that since the time of this publication, Laura Sibley Gaylor is no longer listed as a member of the AlertSense leadership team. Oh, so this was her. Wow. Arrested in Haiti for attempting to steal 33 children. Why does an individual who has been arrested for child trafficking work for a company that issues Amber Alerts?
Right. What sense does that make? So you see how the government is able to get you out of these, predicaments when they are out here kidnapping children. You see how your government is able to get you out of it. Well, not you regularly, but you got to have a suit on, a title, and then you'll be able to have, freedom to do whatever the fuck you want to do, right? Because you just got to have a title these days. You just got to have a title. So now let's get into some nigger news. So, D.L. Hughley, I remember when this Monique situation first happened with you, and I had put out a video because once Monique put out her contract and you put out your memo, I made a video. I put both of those together, and then I also spoke on how you allowed your friend to get away with touching on your daughter. And you didn't say anything because you liked him. So then you recently made a video talking about they were the same age. They were both the same age. So if they was the same age and that's your friend, why are you friends with a 13-year-old little boy? Why are you lying? You still lying at the end of the day. And then you have shades on, so we're not able to see your eyes because at the end of the day, your eyes are the windows to the soul. We gonna know what's up with you. I gotta look you in your eyes before I get to working, okay? That's how I am. I gotta know you real, for real. Stop playing with me. So I had spoke on DL, allowing his friend to touch on his child. So then he tries to come out and gaslight the public. Talk about, Monique, you're going to bring up something like that, opening up a womb. You're an evil person. No, bitch, you evil. Because as a father, why the fuck you ain't stand up for your daughter? But you want to come at other people about what the fuck you failed to do. Because that's your boy toy. If he was a 13-year-old child, you must have been doing something with that 13-year-old child, because why the fuck is he your friend? And that's what you said first. You said your friend did that shit. So your friend touched your daughter. Everybody got that shit up in them, so their memory probably foggy. They don't know shit. But bitch, I remember what you said. I remember what you said. So when I spoke on it, I don't know if Monique seen my video or not, but then that's when she came out and was like, DL, that situation happened. You ain't even standing for your daughter. Because I was like, that's what I said in the video. I was like, DL don't even like black women. Because look at how he did his daughter. He allowed a man to touch on his child. So of course he's gonna sit there and allow Monique. That's what I said. And then Monique, I don't know if she's seen my video, but she spoke on that. She spoke on that shit. And I'm glad she did. And I came back out and I said something. I said, I'm gonna support you. But at the end of the day, I cannot support nobody who wants to still stay in these industries and in these places who's doing shit like this. The whole industry is involved with child trafficking, Monique. Why are you fighting to stay in some shit like that? Why do you want to be a part of that shit? I don't want to support you. And Cat Williams, he's looking crazy to me because on the Shay Shay thing, he said it would not be no DL slander. I love DL Hughley. It would not be no DL slander. But yet, I feel like you said that because you know the situation that had happened with DL, his daughter, and his friend. So now I got to question you about these 7 kids you got that's not even all of yours. Okay? Because I don't trust y'all celebrities. I don't. So, because I ain't put everything up here, we're going to go to my Instagram page, y'all. Okay? So, hopefully y'all can...
Brian Sullivan took Jonna Reef to a club. Jonna was in the club with other boys and repeatedly did satanic rituals. Brian wore hooded robes and joined other men in black robes. Lexi Dillon was a child who the judge allowed to be extradited to Thailand and to trafficking. Why do we have these kinds of judges and prosecutors and DAs as leaders and positions where they can help cover up things like this? This is sick. He is the present judge in the Superior Court of Orange County, California. Everything goes down in California. This is so sick, and I'm so sad for the parents that have for the mothers, not the parents, for the mothers, because the mothers are the ones that's fighting for their children. I just need people to look into this case. I need them to understand that the world is not what they thought it was. It's time for us to stand up and fight back because they are coming for the children. They are getting you sick with these vaccines, and they are coming to take these children from you. Look at Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, two pedophiles. Ain't no alleged, it's two pedophiles. Two pedophiles. Kamala Harris did not prosecute one pedophile priest when she was DA. Not one. She allowed Brian Sullivan to take Jonah Reef, and that's not even his son. They are taking children and throwing them into trafficking rings. Kamala Harris, people like her, are taking children from their mothers and throwing them into trafficking rings. Allowing these children to go across water. Not even allowing, because the kids don't want to go. They are stealing these children. Reef appeals contending her conviction must be reversed because, one, the judgment is based upon an unconstitutional application of Section 228.5. In December 2007, Reef's father called Brian S. and informed him that Reef was in labor. Brian S. went to the hospital and was present during the birth of their son. J. Brian S. spent the next 4 days with Jay and then left California on a pre-planned trip for about a week and a half. When he returned, he saw Jay almost every day. However, within a month, Reef began to keep Brian S. from Jay by making excuses as to why Brian S. could not see their son. At one point, Reef left on a 2-week trip. You just got to go read this. So Brian S. stopped the father from seeing this baby, from seeing his son. Kamala Harris helped the pedophile take that lady's son. We need her out the office. They're not even real presidents. They're acting. And this is why people like this get away, because of her. Mm-hmm. And then she supports the pedophile bill. Mm-hmm. That's your favorite president. That's who's about to become president, y'all. That's who's about to become president. They about to start some shit, so we won't even have no election. Brian Sullivan. They just want to make her the president. So, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and the $3 billion kidnapping lawsuit. Keep that in mind. So I read in the comments, somebody said that it was thrown out for lack of evidence. Of course, they're going to do that. They're going to throw out everything because they don't want the public to know the truth of what they are doing and how our government is involved with all of this. And your judges are paid off and they are all using usury. Usury is the practice that the Jews use to get their way, to bribe politicians to get their way. Pay off these judges. Tory Lanez should not be in jail right now. R. Kelly should not be in jail right now. Sony should. Jayz should, because he is the one kidnapping children. And Tasha K should be in jail as well. That bitch. An interesting read about Bernie Mac. Killed because he was about to expose the adrenochrome ring. Bernie Mac was killed because he was about to expose the massive adrenochrome drug market, which is why they torture children.
It's created by adrenaline and it has to be stored in a cool place like a Comet ping pong's fridge. It produces a euphoric high like DMT, but it's actually healthy for you. This is also why places like Alaska and Seattle are hubs for trafficking. And he was also going to speak on the cloning facilities. Bernie Mac was going to speak on the fact that they wanted to clone him. So when they be coming out with different versions of people, of these so-called people, is because they have to keep putting out the clones because the clones malfunction after a while. They have to keep making them. They lock certain people up in studios for them to keep making music. This is why Gucci Man looks how he look. They're either clones or they are played by another person. But Gucci Man has created tons of music because they lock them in studios. This is a mafia we dealing with. A mafia is running our country, our world. And they have put on titles of preachers, teachers, and shit like that. And they are none of that. They are just evil. They are evil people. An interesting read about Bernie Mac. Rest in peace to Bernie Mac. Now, that is it for my TED Talk today. Did we talk about everything in the title? King James Version, D.O. Hughley, Kamala Harris, MIA, Jayz government. Yes, we did. I spoke on everything that's in the title. I'm so proud of myself. And here's all y'all over here melting like shit. I'm over here melting. I'm just like, young, I can't wait. I read a lot. Okay? I read a lot, and that's the problem. A lot of y'all don't read. That's why y'all depressed and stuck and miserable. Okay? Depression is of your lowest self, so you need to get out of it. You can choose to be happy. You don't have to choose to get up every day and slave yourself for these people. You don't have to choose that, but you do. Slavery is a choice because you don't want to read nothing. So, have a great day, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for liking the video and subscribing. I don't know how long this channel will be around because I think I already got a strike over here. I got 2 strikes on my other channel. So, I'm just moving around, y'all. I'm moving around. My old page was deleted. I don't care. Do y'all see? I don't care about that shit because that shit don't define me. Okay? It don't define me at all. In the real world, I'm like that. And in this metaverse, they don't fuck with me because they know I'm real, okay? They cannot mess with authenticity. They can't do it. They can't duplicate it. They can't do it. It will never be another me because I stand for myself. I don't need nobody to tell me shit. I can come up here with no makeup because I don't give a fuck about what none of y'all got to say. Especially if y'all want some hating ass shit. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, we have to get the message out here. And too many people is paying attention to the messenger and not listening to the message. So then they get upset in their feelings when they can't even fuck with me. Okay? So, have a great day, everyone. And I will see you all soon. Peace.